In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Kindred class in Rebel Moon Bloodline. I'm very excited to talk about Kindred in this video because Kindred has been a very fun class to use in Rebel Moon Bloodline. And in this video, I'm going to be covering Kindred's character along with all of Kindred's weapons, abilities, keepsakes, artifacts, and all of Kindred's customizations. Before we begin, please like the video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel if you want more from Rebel Moon Theory. And without further ado, let's get started. The Kindred was a JC working for the Imperium, but seeing their brutality, he made the decision to not be a part of it. He fled and escaped, where he eventually met the Forsaken and joined forces with her. They ventured to Crypt, where they were discovered by the Evoker, who welcomed them into the Cryptean Rebellion.
What was I protecting?
I am the Kindred. The Forsaken and I journeyed here together to fight the Imperium.
The Oracle has found us powerful allies, I see. Let's bring them back to base.
Well met.
So here we are going to head to the wardrobe to take a look at the customizations for Kindred. And as you guys can see, there are 6 different headpieces you can choose from, which 5 of them we have not seen yet. And right here is a look at the headpieces themselves. I think they look really cool. And if we go right here, you guys can choose your title for the Kindred or any of your classes. And right here are the different outfits you can choose from for your Kindred, which there are about 6 of them in the game so far. Now, the unfortunate part about this is that all of the different headpieces, other than the regular Jimmy headpiece that we have seen from the movies and the comic books, the others don't really blend in with the other outfits. So if you use a different headpiece like this one, it does not fit with any of the other outfits. The regular headpiece mostly works with all of the other outfits. So it is something I did want to let you guys know. And there is only one body type and one voice type for the Kindred in this game. So now we're going to be headed out to the loadout section, where this is where you will choose your weapons, artifacts, abilities, and keepsakes for your classes. So we are going to look at the weapons for the Kindred first, which Kindred has 3 bows right now. And the first one we're going to look at is the compound bow. So with the compound bow, if you press RB or the triple arrows that you can see at the bottom right, you dart off these 3 bows that will do armor piercing to the enemies. And if you press Y, you will use your ability, which I am actually using Healing Mist right now, so you use that to press Y. And then with your LT, you actually have these traps that the enemies can fall in for, and once when they do, they will get stunned. But if I use my RB or triple bows, for example, that will break the enemy's armor. So if I go over here, and even if they don't have armor, this is what the bow will do. If you use one of your abilities for the bow, and we go over here, I can throw down these traps at these snipers, and once they fall for it, they will get stunned. And yeah, you can just keep throwing them right here, and the enemies will continue to, fall for it. So over here, there's more enemies. Use my RB or triple bow, and that will go against the enemies. So we also have this hammer or this mech over here, where you can break its armor using those triple bows right here. And whenever you need to use your ability, you can press Y for your abilities and use your LT for the traps. Now, something else with the bow, to get into some cover, you can actually also do armor breaks and more damage with the bow without using the triple bow. So if I hold my shot for the bow, let me get a little better look. So if I hold my shot with the bow right here to where it clicks, it will do more damage, and it will also do armor break as well. So if I hold it right here at this armor one, boom, armor break. So I can do it again on the mech, Okay, it didn't do it that time, but maybe it doesn't do on the second one. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a close look at the compound bow. Next, we have the Wind Shear Bow. So the Wind Shear Bow can be unlocked through the Burgeoning Rebellion Battle Pass by completing Tier 22. And just like the compound bow, the Wind Shear Bow also has the triple bows that you can shoot, but does also have a different ability, which, like the compound bow that has the traps, the Wind Shear Bow does have these arrows of acid that you can shoot out, which also do armor breaks right here. So if I do it over here with this enemy, I can fire the bow at him and it does break the armor as well. And also, like the compound bow, the Wind Shear Bow does have has a charge that you can hold to shoot out the arrows, which also does armor breaks as well. And something else, the Wind Shear Bow also has when you hold the charge, the arrow will actually go through multiple enemies at once. So if I can get an angle right here, here we go, we can have it right here. It will go through, even though it's going through multiple other enemies. So I need to heal up. And if we go over here, hold my charge. And sometimes it'll look down like that. That does not mean it is inaccurate. So we have it right here, multiple enemies. The arrow can literally go through multiple enemies at once. So we got it right there. And yeah, this is a pretty cool bow. Really awesome one. I do love the arrows that it shoots out with the acid. I think it's really cool. And that is it for the Wind Shear Bow. Then we have the Double Recurve Bow, which can be unlocked by completing all missions for Kindred's master known as Matthew. With the Double Recurve Bow, this bow actually shoots out 3 arrows instead of 1. However, the arrows will not go through multiple enemies at once like with the compound bow and the Wind Shear Bow with a full charge. However, shooting out the 3 bows brings in a lot of damage to the enemies. And for its abilities, it does have a really different one, which, if I can show you guys, so we'll go over here we'll go to some more enemies real quick. So if I use my RB, I can actually bring in a rain of arrows right there. And for the LT, you can actually, if we shoot them right there, it actually brings in an electrical field where you can bring in for the enemies. So if I shoot another one, it'll actually stun the enemies and put them stuck there to where they won't be able to do anything as long as they're in that electrical field. So these guys are trying to burn me up, so I'm going to try to stun them real quick, and it freezes them. And while they're doing this, let's say if I go over here, with all these snipers trying to get me, I can stun them, and I can use my ability, and I can literally bring in a rain of arrows on the enemy. So that's pretty cool. And also, your ability stays the same depending on which one you have equipped. And yeah, this bow is really good. It's really good for doing a lot of damage to the enemies, and I highly recommend using this one. And that is it for the Double Recurve Bow. So now we are going to take a look at the Kindred's abilities, which the Kindred has Electric Ammo, Auto Ballista, Healing Mist, Smoke Bomb, and Effigy. So with Electric Ammo, you'll be able to shoot electric arrows for a duration of time, and it does work a little bit differently with the Double Recurve Bow. Like with the Compound Bow and the Wind Shear Bow, you will be able to shoot electric arrows for a duration of time. So if I come up to these enemies over here, I do have more time to shoot the electric ammo. But with the Double Recurve Bow, it will only work if I shoot once, which could be considering that the Double Recurve Bow shoots 3 arrows at once. So using electric ammo is really good. It will definitely help do some damage to the enemies. So let's move on to the next ability. Next we have the Auto Ballista, which is this turret that actually shoots out arrows. So if I place it down right here in front of this enemy, it will fire onto the enemy. So as you guys can see, it is firing on those, looks like Curtaining guards over there. And also does armor breaks as well. I think it did it when it shot the barrel, but yeah, as you guys can see, it takes out the enemy's without me having to shoot out my arrows. And eventually it will go away after a while. So if we go to some enemies over here, place our turret right here. Usually it's a really cool ability to use when you're using it against lower rank enemies. In my opinion, I highly don't recommend using it when you are playing on a level that might be at the same recommended power as yours, which we are going to now get into the other abilities right now. So that was the Auto Ballista. Next we have Healing Mist, which really comes in handy when you are playing on high rank missions like Warzone and Bloodline missions. It also comes in handy when you are unable to access medkits. So Healing Mist will heal about 20 to 25% of your health. It really comes in handy when you're really about to go down and there are no access to medkits. You will be able to use the Healing Mist ability to bring up your health. And that is it for Healing Mist. Next we have Smoke Bomb, which is really good to use if you're trying to get away from some enemies. So once you use it, your speed will increase. This will give you time to get away from the huge crowd of enemies. And the Smoke Bomb will also deal the enemy some damage as well. So if I use it right here on the Scripting Guard, you guys can see that it is doing some damage to this Scripting Guard. And that is it for Smoke Bomb. Then for the last ability, we have Effigy, which creates a duplication of the Kindred. So if I place it over here, the enemies will attack the duplication instead of me. So since I placed that over there, I could run over here and attack some other enemies if I need to, while the other enemies are over there attacking the duplication. So I can put one right here and get away from the enemies as much as possible. It's really good if you're trying to get away from a large crowd of enemies. And that is it for Effigy. Now we are going to get into the artifacts and the keepsakes. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to share gameplay of all the artifacts and keepsakes in this video, considering that some of them do require 2 or more players in order to use. But I am going to show you guys an example. So we are going to use Wound Up Wiring, which you count as 2 heroes when charging objectives. You also deal extra damage while within an objective area. And with Prophet's Vision, distant enemies take extra damage. So we are going to equip Wound Up Wiring and Prophet's Vision, and I'm going to show you guys an example of how the artifacts and keepsakes work. So since I have Wound Up Wiring equipped, it will allow me to count as 2 heroes on the objectives. So if we head over here, away from these enemies real quick, I can, so we'll go ahead and defuse this bomb. So right here, the taking out the zone is a lot faster than usual, especially with, most of the enemies around here. Usually it would be slower than that, but considering that I am using Wound Up Wiring, it is allowing me to capture the objective a lot quicker than usual. So if I go up against some of these Scripting Guards over here, we'll head over to another bomb that needs to be defused. So we'll head down to, here's one right here. So I'm not gonna, oh, that's a piece of that's an artifact. So we'll head over here, and if I defuse bomb, we'll just let all these enemies crowd in. You see how fast it is to capture the objective. So that is a perfect example for the artifacts and the keepsakes. So they are really, all of them really come to handy depending on which ones you use. And that is it for the artifacts and keepsakes. So that is it for the Kindred class in Rebel Moon Bloodline. I really enjoy using Kindred in this game. I think it's a very fun class to use. And that is it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.